You said what? All right. Oh, that's right. I use my other one. Damn. Good people, what's the deal? What is the deal, man? Told y'all I'd be a few minutes early. I said 8:48. It was not 8:48. It's like 8:51. But guess who we waiting for? BK. What y'all think about this? So I don't know if y'all saw Tucker Carlson's post. Let me get a little bigger over here. Let me get a little bigger. I don't know if y'all saw Tucker Carlson's post, but apparently there's an announcement coming where he was talking about Trump's going to announce that we're at war. What do y'all think? What are y'all thinking? Are we getting ready to go to war? I really hope not. But what are y'all thoughts? Yeah, I'll take a glass. Man, where y'all tapping in from? Let me know where y'all tapping in from. So it's I mean, what can he possibly talk about? He's gonna probably make something up when it comes to deporting the deportation numbers. He'll probably talk about Israel, Palestine, and how much we should just celebrate Hanukkah and just embrace this genocide that we're witnessing. Uh, what else do I think he'll talk about? He's definitely going to give a reason as to why Venezuela, for whatever reason, we're going to war with them because they did something disrespectful to us based on wanting to control their own resources. I don't know, but it's look, man. Sometimes you got to understand what team you're on, bro. We America, we the team. We are colonizers, bro. It is what it is. We are colonizers, and I can't wait to hear. Well, hopefully we won't hear it, but Donald Trump trying to justify why we should be going to war with Venezuela or whoever else. Who knows? Who knows what he's getting ready to announce? We got home. We got a nap town in the building. Stop playing. Come on. That's my second home. That's my second home. Well, my third home. Naptown, man. Naptown, I miss y'all, man. I miss y'all. On everything I love, I miss y'all. If I expressed it any more honestly, Maya would get jealous over here because you're like, why you miss Naptown? Why you miss Indy, right? There you go. Silence is golden, right? What's up, Phyllis in the building? Ohio. We got Detroit. Shout out to Detroit in the building. San Diego. We got Florida. Yeah, that's the home right there. I'm a Florida resident. Come on now. We in Jersey right now. We got Pittsburgh. We got Michigan. We got Cleveland. All right. I'm trying to think. Obviously, used to live in Indy. To live in Nat. Used to lived in Canada. We had a Canada one. I didn't read a Canada one. Oh, Canada's dope too. Canada's dope too. Look who's tapping in late. You feel me? Talking all that. Where you at, Glay? Oh man. Where critical at? Where's criticals in the building? Hold up, man. I ain't know my dog critical was in the building. When should I tell critical that this is really just a live stream of Nick Fuentes' show, and I just dragged him in here acting as if it's Donald Trump. Shout out to Finn in the building. Y'all know, whether it's first thing in the AM or whether it's in the evening, y'all know what we do. We're gonna read some Marcus Aurelius. We're gonna either quote one or both Finn and Marcus Aurelius. So it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. I think a lot of people could could learn a lot from that one. But it's already 9 o'clock. Let me Dr. King and Steve in the building. Professor Jew, what's y'all? His name is J-O-O. Come on, bro. You're gonna have me saying something wild. Regular, like a short one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Maya Bunch. Oh my God, I'm just so lucky. I wake up every day and Maya's just there. And it's like amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling. She usually got a little crust in the eyes, breath was a little, whatever. All right, yo. So how y'all doing? What are y'all thinking for today? What do y'all think? All right, everybody put in one hot topic that they think Trump could possibly talk about, or make a bold prediction about what we're getting ready to hear.
Good evening, America. 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world, but they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states and everything else, with a mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation all over the globe. But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible. Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border? He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. I've restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our Treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22%, and in many states, 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now, under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation. Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs, and that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen, AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world, and that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward. And I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation. And no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people, that's you, so they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower costs. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me, because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds, as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody. or certainly not very soon, prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Well, I think you on mute, Clay. Oh yeah, hold on, you on mute.
Oh, okay. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
I felt like somebody just like put me in a washing machine and just left me and just I'm still spinning. Like, was that all on one breath?
Oh man, bro.
Like, he just got his shit off and just like, bet. I dare anybody try to step on what I just said. So we good.
You
We
know
in a
what?
good place.
So this is the first time that Trump really sounded like a politician to me. I thought in other situations he sounded like a politician, but I realized now was the first time. Like, that was the longest speech that I've listened to in a while, perhaps, of just a politician. And perhaps it was because I have different expectations of Trump or see him in a different light. But halfway through it, I was literally sitting there like, I feel the tone, I feel a little anger or anxiety, whatever he has, but I have no idea what he's talking about. And it made me think, you know what it actually made me think? Because when I started to make a list of all the things that I actually wanted Trump to do,
I saw you writing over there.
yeah, that I felt he didn't deliver on, what I realized was like, bro, this was perfectly set up for you. Like, you did all the hard work getting elected, like getting through all those trials, getting through all the BS and winning the election. This was like, bro, you couldn't have had a better setup. Like, literally your job was to go in and stop men from playing sports against women, to stop with this crazy LGBTQ agenda that the majority of Americans don't agree on, to put an end to Russia and Ukraine that he kept running around bragging about, saying he could do it in day one, to stop, and this is two-part, and remind me to elaborate on this particular issue later. I won't need a reminder, but whatever. Israel and Palestine, you know what I mean? And then why I say it was, yeah, peace in the Middle East, but why I want to say it's two-part, because it's not only the fact that we're actively sending money and supporting a genocide, but it's also the fact that people now look at Trump even worse as far as like, oh, our government is actually getting controlled and bullied by Israel. Like, we thought that it was just weak Biden, Biden's weak administration, they're scared of Israel. But now with Trump being in office, like, he made our country look even worse in a lot of ways, because we thought Trump was the guy that couldn't be bullied, and we've seen him over and over get bullied. But these were like simple things. Stop letting in. We just had 10 million migrants come in the last 4 years. Stop the border. I believe he did that for the most part. It wasn't really that hard. I don't think. Obviously, Democrats just were welcoming people. So to say like, hey, stop, it's not that difficult. But all of these things that he really had the opportunity to do, even though he may have stumbled upon doing a couple, crime in the inner cities, I guess he could take some credit for that. Opportunities for all these migrants, prioritizing more of Americans rather. Now, this is something that he definitely hasn't delivered on. We're talking about putting America first and prioritizing opportunities for Americans, but you're bringing Indians in with the H-1B visas and telling us that we don't have the talent. And then you're bringing in, I believe it's a whole bunch of Chinese students to feed a lot of the universities. We talked about this earlier. So it's really what it comes down to, and maybe this is a point that Jewish people have. Americans are just tired of Israel. Americans are tired of getting bullied by Israel and Jewish oligarchs. That's what it really comes down to. There was nothing that really Trump could have got up here and said outside of, hey, we're no longer going to get bullied by Israel. We're pulling out. We're not going to condone this genocide. Other than that, like, he could have just delivered that and not delivered all the other stuff. And I think people would feel better. But there's like, it's twofold. It's the fact that we feel like we've been finessed and lied to and manipulated into losing a lot of soldiers, a lot of American soldiers when it comes to us supporting Israel in that region. And a lot of us are sitting back kind of saying like what, like, nah, like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not aligned with this. And I feel like y'all are bullying the president. And like, that's the main issue. So perhaps that's why a lot of these neocons, the Mark Levin, the Ben Shapiro's, maybe this is why they're going super hard and why they are a bit nervous, because when it comes to Americans, I think that's the number one issue. Like, he didn't even mention, I think, even with the Epstein files like that, okay, that loses credibility. But people can be fickle. People can be fickle and be mad at you on a Monday and be cool with you on Friday. But this one issue of Israel and our involvement there, and us looking at Trump looking like we're getting bullied, like that just doesn't sit well with us as Americans, I don't think. And we see a lot of that involvement, and we see now it's being reported allegedly that they're pushing us to this war with Venezuela. Who knows what's going to happen? But that was my takeaway, because he did deliver on some of this stuff. He did deliver on closing the border. It was very easy, not even a big deal. He did bring the Coast Guard into some of these inner cities, you know, not a significant thing. And the last thing with the tariffs, I don't know the exact numbers. I don't have the exact numbers right in front of me, but we will fact check those numbers and confirm, if what he's saying is true, because that's another situation with the tariffs. I got to look into it. I got to look into it, because he was pushing for the tariffs, and a whole lot of us were pushing back. So I don't know. It just didn't. He didn't really say much.
That's that. I mean, I'm still. My ears are still cooling off. Like I got like Bugs Bunny. I still got the smoke coming out of my ears after that. The way he was just hitting the gymnastics and had just everybody's mind going from A to B to Z, up, down, left, right. So
I'm gonna tell you, the weakest part for me was the blame game with Biden. Like, you look so weak as a leader getting up there and blaming Biden. Like, it should almost be a new precedent set where, all right, this is the new standard. I had a lot of bad things to say about Biden previously, obviously, when I'm running against him. But once I'm in office, we do not look backwards. We just look at where's the starting point of where we got the baton. We're not complaining about the first leg or the second leg. They got us so far behind. What did you do when you got the baton? Like, we're not worried about what Biden did beforehand. That's one of the weakest things as a leader I feel like you could do. Start blaming your situation. Trump, you said that you can climb us out of these holes, regardless of what Biden put us in. You said that you could deliver on these things. So therefore, don't bring up Biden. It just doesn't make you look good, bro. It makes you look very weak, very fragile. And it almost is that same thing that we complain about other politicians doing, where you keep blaming. Like, it's year one. If you fell short of certain things, say we fell short. We didn't deliver. He would have been better off giving me an entire speech on the things that he did not deliver on. That would have shown me some true leadership. Here we can skim over. I'll spend a couple minutes on some highlights. Literally a couple minutes. But let's talk about where we are with the concerns that we still have for Americans. Pricing is still up. You know what I mean? We still have all these issues. This is where we did not deliver peace in this region. This is how it's going to impact us moving forward. Be vulnerable where you're so confident in yourself and so confident in the people following you, because you believe in yourself as a leader. And we know that, it takes a special type of confidence for people to just go up there and admit that they're wrong about certain things in front of the entire world. And he should have done it. He should have done it.
We're not. Yeah, we ain't been seeing that in them White Houses.
It would have shocked all of us, bro. It would have literally shocked all of us. And I would have slow clapped. Like, I would have been like, yo, that's what's up, bro. Like, when you acknowledge when you fall short, bro, there's a lot of value in apologies and a lot of value in recovery. But if all you're doing is the blame game, it's going to be really tough for you to prove yourself to the people. Now, he may not even be concerned with that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a special type of individual to hit that stage and come out the gate swinging at Biden, and then basically just leveraging his position and what he's done so well, and just throwing numbers and data at you to the point where you just on your heels and you just catching bullets nonstop, and then close the door and run out the back. It's a special type of confidence with somebody like that. And there's, at some point in time, he gotta feel like he's speaking to somebody who believes in the shit he's saying.
I don't think so, bro.
You think when he delivered this, like, he don't think this is landing on nobody's ears?
Bro, I think that when you go up there anytime as a speaker, it don't matter whether there's 2 people in the room, 2,000, 2 million, 2 billion. You know when you up there saying some BS that you're not confident in. And you're very well aware of how the audience may be receiving this. And you're probably looking at it from a standpoint of, well, I hope they don't receive it this way, rather than, well, I hope they receive it this way. You know what I mean? Like, it's more so you're worried that people are calling you out as you read that teleprompter saying all that BS, trying to race through it as fast as possible. Like when you go
I
up there
felt that.
confident, like, yo, you trying to take your time. Like this is my show. This is when I get to talk to the people. This is where Trump is supposed to thrive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you
I didn't
go up
see
there
that.
and read it. Bro, I would have rather you did not need a teleprompter speech for this.
Could have took his time. That
Yo,
shit was
take
15
your time.
minutes.
Do what you do, bro. Like go over it. You really only talked about like 5 to 6 things. I mean,
Right. You just
like,
stepped on Biden for 15 minutes.
yeah, you're not really talking about much. We would have just appreciated. Get up there. Here's some of the. Obviously, we don't take live questions in front of everybody, but here are some of the questions and concerns that people have. I want to be able to address this. You could have put it on if you was a real smart dude, you would have put a poll on your on Truth Social or X, whatever it is. Put a poll out on some of the questions that people want asked with this first almost a year of you being elected. Put that poll out, get the questions, and then you go to the stage and you answer the questions, bro. Where you fell short, you acknowledge it, you accept all the blame and accountability. You don't blame somebody on your team, and you don't blame Biden for sure. But it's just like, this is just simple stuff, bro.
Yeah, remember, like I've never really. I always feel like we get into this place, but I no longer believe that people don't know this shit.
Yeah.
Like I believe this is the play.
Yeah.
Like this is the play. We're just reading it from a place like, hold up, how could this ever be the play? There's no way this is the play. Let me coach you on what the play is. And we really not giving game to anybody who really want. This is the play. Like we don't know this is the scheme. This is what he's drawing up in the locker room or in the coach's office to run. Like this was the play. So I find it very interesting. Like there's no way we're sitting here coaching grown ass men who have been in politics for oh so long about how to properly approach politics. So at this point, it's intentional to me. I feel like it's full blown intentional. I think we're seeing the flaws that we're seeing are the flaws that, like you said, he does know the struggle when he go up there. He know what he's standing on, what he not standing on. But at the end of the day, like he also ain't new to this. And so he know cats like us in our community is reading this and he know that shit ain't hitting on nothing. But you said it. You said it. He know what the fuck he going. He know what's going on. This shit ain't on accident.
He know.
It's crazy to think about that. Like we be speaking from a position of almost like consulting and coaching all the time. And we never give the people that we are consulting or coaching the benefit of the doubt that they do know, but they're choosing a different path.
He knows, man.
He knows.
Like,
so this makes this conversation so different but amongst us because it's like, damn, like what is the topic and how do we have this conversation with with niggas who know better and are choosing not to do better? Yeah. Totally different conversation now. Yeah. Because we're not even bringing light.
It was a mid speech.
Hella
I don't think anybody, it's one of those speeches where it doesn't matter what side of it on. Like if you're the super duper MAGA,
I wanted to hear that POV.
Where you just want to hear him talk bad about some brown people or whatever, you know what I mean? It didn't even land on. He didn't have any like joke or line. Like he said the one where it was the Unaffordable Care Act. That was the only like real joke that he had. But outside of that, like nobody's, that's not landing on anybody. You didn't say anything super ignorant. It's like where even if it's not true or even if it's wrong, a lot of people get behind it, get excited about it. Like, yo, based, whatever they're trying to say. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And he didn't, it seemed like he didn't even do a good job of laying out the things that they did do.
So he was in the middle like we talked about today.
Yeah, it was just it's just a mid performance.
Mid at best.
Yeah. But I do want to point out, Phyllis wrote it. I am very happy that he didn't announce anything about us going to war. I'm very happy about that.
Okay.
I'm very happy about that. Like I said, there's certain things that you can give him credit for, but it's the things that we should have never even been here in the first place anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We got to go through these comments today.
It's Go ahead. You see any?
Oh, y'all are.
I said that was a hostage video.
Yo, the comments are fire.
Yo,
Yo, please keep these comments coming. This shit is hilarious, bruh. I'm way more entertained watching the comments right now. Somebody said this was a hostage video.
Yeah.
This could have all been
Like even his posture, like he was standing kind of sideways, one hand up here, like, bro, relax,
Chill,
own the room. This is what you do, Trump. All these people here to see you. Like, what are you doing going out there reading that speech? We don't read speeches.
right. We about to send you to Dr. King. Get your
We're
get your
not
public
reading
speaking straight.
speech. Come on, bro. Not for that. Like if you
Nah.
bring up some statistics, you may pull something out. Let me make sure I don't get these statistics, bro. You go, a little something, but not the whole teleprompter joint, bro. Like when that's that's kind of what you do, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, for 2 seconds, I wasn't looking at the screen, I was looking down and I was listening. I was like, damn, this nigga spitting this shit from the dome. And then I see him look through and I was like, oh, he reading that damn teleprompter.
I just assumed he was reading the teleprompter.
Yeah, I had to, because at some points I'm like, the nigga didn't even breathe. So I'm like, no, you got to be reading this shit.
It was too fast. Like he probably just said, "Yo, we're gonna just get through this, man. Let's just get home after this. We'll figure it out." Like he really treats us like, bro, whatever. Like they'll hate me tonight, they'll love me tomorrow.
Yeah, like shut their ass up.
Yeah,
Like let me go.
She gonna keep complaining. She ain't going nowhere.
Right,
Like, that's how Trump treat us like a side chick, bro.
Yo.
Trump really out here treating us like a side chick, bro.
Like he ain't got an answer to the shit he said.
Bro, you ever had somebody ask you a question?
You're doing too much with the
Come on,
ever
bro.
had.
I'm not talking about no side, but you ever had anybody ask you a question where you're more offended that they even got the nerve to ask you the question, to where it don't matter if I'm lying or not. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I do that to this day. I do
Somebody
that
ask you a
now.
question, like, bro, we ain't even gonna get to the question. That's how Trump treats us.
Yeah.
Like, y'all asking me questions, like, bro.
If the question is disrespectful, I'm gonna go off on the question more than I will on the fucking answer.
That's like Trump, bro. We think about it, bro. He was supposed to deliver the Epstein files, the JFK files. I don't know what happened with those, like what was released, the MLK files. He was supposed to, stop Russia-Ukraine day one, put in, or before he got in office, put an end to Israel-Palestine, not getting any new wars. He made a lot of these promises himself, saying like, "Oh yeah, prices of groceries gonna go down immediately." Didn't happen. Price of gas gonna go down immediately. Didn't happen. Like all of these promises that he made, like he could have just played it cool. It's almost like Candace Owens. Like you over promising.
Yeah, niggas, you hyped that shit up so much.
Yeah.
We was ready for a bloodbath.
Yeah, you ain't have to hype it up like that, right?
We was gonna be cool wherever it went. Like for real, we don't worry about us in the crowd because we ain't getting in there. It ain't like we in that motherfucker. Don't ever do it for the crowd because the crowd gonna boo you and they gonna hype you up. So you never need to be concerned about what the crowd say. Just stand on the shit you saying. But that's the issue with Trump. It's like he really his campaign was stepping on niggas and standing on shit he meant. Like that's what made a lot of cats like fucking with the energy. Like it was okay to be turned. It was okay to be just say shit with no regard, no censorship, fake news. Like we was like, man, I don't even care what side you on. I'm fucking with this. But then it's like to go in here and really just like do all this to sell the tickets, and then like it's fight night, and it's like, damn, you getting blown back, like you against the cage, and you not even fighting on you, like you losing, you're not even fighting. You don't even look like the same person who was selling the tickets. That's what really got cats like, damn, bro, like the energy you put out, you look like you'd be willing to spin yourself. And now we like, oh, you just another one of these OG gangsters claiming you what you did and what you could do, and then you ain't about that. So now moving on.
Man, my man said this could have all been an email. Like,
yo, I saw that. Yo, Eddie, you are hilarious, bro.
You could have uploaded this on your site or something, Truth Social. You could have put this.
Yeah,
right?
You could have threw this in a tweet.
Right. So I just don't get. Like maybe like are people just scared? Because this is the thing for me. You go up there, this should have been simple. You have to let people know that you did get maybe a few things, done. Even though, because the temperature of the room. people ain't rocking with you right now. Let them know that you got a few things done, and then transition and say, this address to you all, I want to spend as much time talking about the things that I fell short on. And notice I'm saying I fell short because I accept the responsibility that comes with all this stuff, because I assembled this team where I set the tone. Attitude reflects leadership. He could have even quoted Remember the Titans, and he could have had more of us
Marcus Aurelius
on the same page as far as like, oh, okay, he's accepting responsibility. Any shortcoming that we've had, the JFK or the Epstein files, that's on me. You know what I mean? Like, say certain things where you take acknowledgement for you prevented certain things from happening, or you just simply didn't deliver. We tried to go this way with the tariffs. We didn't get the return on our investment that we initially expected. So now we're trying to pivot in this area. Look, we told you that we'd have the prices down. So first things first, we were wrong. We didn't get it done. We apologize. We're working diligently to figure this thing out moving forward. Like I said, blame me. But moving forward, I want to let everybody know that I will be 100% dedicated. Like throw some, like give me counter, like say, yeah, like
you are wilding with this description of what you would want to see out of him. It sounds so perfect. I'm like, there's no way he thought this nigga was gonna slide like that.
Isn't that every speech after a game? Like, isn't that what every quarterback would say after he did some bullshit? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not what Lamar Jackson would say. Like, think about it. If Lamar Jackson went up there,
it's more So you basically telling me it's more real niggas in sports than there is in the White House.
I mean, I thought that the fact that you even comparing the two is very disrespectful to the athletes, bro.
Well, there we have it. We knew that. He don't come from that background with taking accountability. See, accountability, as we've noticed in a lot of our conversations, I'd say in the past month or so, accountability is not a thing that is easily done.
Yeah.
And even at his age, with his clout and the things he's done that has been so successful, like we're not going to take anything away from what Trump has been able to accomplish in his life. So bar none, he has done things. But in the same breath, it doesn't mean that he has had to become a person that is necessarily super accountable to achieve these things that he has done. Not everybody at the top is a real one. And so we constantly will see how, look, man, you ain't got to be real to make it at the top. We going to be real at the top. But up there, it ain't going to be a lot of cats thinking and talking like you at the top. You're going to be by yourself. So it just goes to show you how this whole game and how you can just play with the American people and not really, like, you ain't even got to go up there and talk about morality. You ain't even got to go and talk about accountability, and you can still get a posse behind you ready to spin and run over to the White House and do what they want and say what they want and run around with your shit on. We don't even have to talk about that as men. Damn. It ain't requirement.
Bro said this is the hottest club in the city. Knowing damn well the people, we've been going to this club. We know it ain't the hottest club in the city. He said America's the hottest spot right now.
Cats in the club at like, damn, this is popping. That's what he said. He said, we got shorties in here. Look, the line closes at 9. Get here early. Drinks is half off. Pull up. We walking in that motherfucker like, where the fuck everybody at? He's like a promoter. He's this is a lot. This is Cap, yo.
Trump a party promoter.
Yo, he promoting. Like DC must be the club because Trump out here promoting. I just walked in the club. He told me to get here early or I'm not going to be able to get in unless I'm buying a table. I said, okay, sir. Let me get my ticket online now. I'm rushing. I'm 100 on the dash. I'm here. You told me this is the party of the year. I got my threads on. What's good? I slid. I came in. There's no shorties here, Trump. Yo, nobody wants to be here.
Somebody said Diddy wrote Trump's speech.
Yo, the fucking comments are epic at night. Who are these people?
Nah, I just made that up. Didn't it sound like Diddy trying to prove his case or something like that? Like when Trump was speaking, I was like, yo, is this Diddy? Like, what are you talking about? Like Diddy trying to convince you that he a good person?
Yo, oh man, man, this is unbelievable, bro. I think, damn, and American people feel like they can't. Like the American people want their voices heard, bro.
Wow.
They upset.
Yeah.
I know they upset, but it's just like they at the point now where it's like motherfuckers don't even care about the American address tonight. Cat's like, yo, cut the Netflix on. What you say? What we ordering for DoorDash?
What's the DoorDash?
What's the DoorDash? We not even concerned about the state of the economy, the state of the country. We just like, these niggas done flipped this shit, burnt this shit, pimped this shit. Fuck it, we gone. They checked out. And then the way he stepped on Biden, it's like, damn, for you to even go that direction. Like, y'all been kicking that man who been falling on his own for so long. At this point, this is just bullying.
Yeah.
Like, was Biden coming at Trump this hard?
Yo,
Because he treating him on some 50 Cent Diddy shit. This is some
Biden.
Oh,
Early Biden.
okay.
But
So
like,
is this deserved?
Yo, I just don't like I genuinely feel like Biden has a cognitive decline. Like something's, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree.
so
Absolutely.
I really don't like all the bullying of Biden now.
Nah.
Like already, you know what I mean? You know how
Yeah, I feel that.
Stall him out, bro. Stall him out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I get Trump. He may say certain things about the administration. You know what I'm saying? So that's not totally unfair. I'm just saying more so my personal bias, but I just don't like the whole blame thing in the first place. It just comes across like very weak. Like it's just weak energy.
We never off that.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you blaming this, blaming that. Like, yo, nobody asked you for that, bro. Tell us exactly
What you
where
want?
you messed up.
Yeah,
Tell
that's
us
it.
where you messed up. Tell us where you went left and you should have gone right. Tell
Like
us how you made all these promises and didn't deliver on them. Tell it how, yo, what we walked into, you know, even we underestimated some of these things. We're going to get back to work. We're not going to have any excuses. We just going to keep putting the pedal to the metal, and we got to get through this, yo. We are America. People around the country may not recognize us, and sometimes this country may look like something that we don't recognize ourselves, but we are still America. It's in our blood. It's in our you know what I mean? Like, get me amped, bro. Hype me up, bro. Like, make me feel good, bro. Make me feel like slavery was worth it. Like, then, let me stop. But, like, for real, though, you feel me?
Yeah.
Shit, bro. He gonna have everybody, and it's to the point where I shouldn't have made that slavery joke. That was bad, but whatever. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, bro.
We standing on shit over here, Dad.
I know, but the slavery joke is, I don't like to be super insensitive. You know what I'm saying? That's a sensitive thing, I guess. Whatever. Too soon, like Nick said. But
hit your Fuentes shit. Too soon.
What, too soon.
Too soon, man.
Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say.
See, that's what you get.
It was forgot. That's what I get.
Shouldn't have been apologizing. That's what you shouldn't have been doing.
Should not have been apologizing.
You should have kept that shit moving.
Never apologizing again. That shit is overrated. Matter of fact, Trump, good job. Because you know what's gonna happen? Next Tuesday, they're gonna forget about it and still be this is what I was gonna say. It's to the point now where it doesn't even matter. Like, you know how you hear people say, like, yo, it ain't even about the money. It's the fact, like, yo, I just feel like you tried to play me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about the money. Like, it ain't about the economy. It's not about anything but the fact that I feel like Israel's running my government. And that's the tough part of all this, because it's probably gonna put added, like, now you're gonna get maybe smoke where it's not even well deserved. But I don't think of what could Trump have done? Like, that's, people just don't feel right about our government. Like, it's just a feeling, in my opinion. We just don't feel right. We feel like somebody's taking advantage of me. That's what people feel like. That's what I think people feel like. But maybe I'm wrong.
Tell me this: what has been unpacked about Israel, I'd say, since Trump administration took office, that has been so clear to people who even were supporting Trump to be like, oh, nah, was the whistleblowers, the Candaces, the Fuenteses, the Tuckers, or was this something that before they even jumped on to the crime scene, there were already things that were making signals, and maybe in those three people that I can just think of just ran to the caution tape and became the journalist of a situation that was already obvious? Or was this something that was never unpacked by them and the whistleblowers blew it?
Are you talking about the Israel situation?
The Israel dynamics, like
Yeah.
Because obviously it's always been here, but like, what has made it such a thing in the past year or 2 years?
Kanye West,
Okay,
Candace
that was the
Owens,
kickoff, you'd say?
and Nick Fuentes.
Okay, so those are the whistleblowers of it.
Now, those are the people who just let them hang to the point where what's that? The something window. I forget what it's called. The Overton window, I think it's called. I think that term where it's like even if you may not agree with it or whatever, like it's not about that. It's just the fact that it opens the door for those discussions to be normalized and to be had. You get what I'm saying? So it was Kanye West. Perhaps he had a rant, but what people also remember outside of the rant where things got, to the point where it's like, all right, Kanye, you buck. Like, you know what I'm saying? People remember what he said before that. And a lot of the things that he said before that, you look around at who controls the entertainment industry, who controls the music industry, hip hop in particular. You see a lot of this stuff and it just sticks with people. Even though you may not agree with what he's saying or, like what he's saying, it sticks with you. And then you have Candace unpacking certain things. Then we see this war that we're involved in. And this is the first time where so many of us perhaps looking at it, where America has had such a voice for the Palestinians in that area. We've never had that voice for the Arab people, especially after 9/11. You think anybody going to jump up there and defend some Arabs after 9/11? You know what I'm saying? So this has been the first time where people have been okay to question. And it's like a lot of stuff. Sometimes all it takes is shining a little light on it. And then it makes you want to shine like, oh, wait, what? Like, oh, nah, we got to keep digging. We got to keep digging. And all of this stuff that's being uncovered, it makes us, it's not even like people have gotten to the end where it's like, oh, I figured this out. You just know that with everything that you uncover, it's something else that you feel that you were lied to about. So it's like, it just doesn't feel right. Like now, anything that y'all say, I'm approaching it from a different angle, like a different mindset. I'm not just going along with this. I'm learning about, wait, what? We supported Israel. Like, then you start looking back at the history, like, well, what about Iraq? Wait, we allowed this lady to get on TV and say that it was justified killing 500,000 children to find weapons of mass destruction, and then it ended up being no weapons of mass destruction. Like, who told us to do this? Oh, wait, Bibi Netanyahu, he came and talked to our country, tried to convince us to get into a war that they did not send one troop to participate in. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff starts coming out, and it's like once you start adding heat to the fire, now the other side, they feel like they got to defend themselves. So now it's the pendulum swinging back and forth in a radicalized way, and we don't feel good about it. And at the end of the day, this is our country, bro. This is our country, bro. Like, you're not going to make us feel like villains by standing up for our country against any other country. So people don't feel good about that. You got Donald Trump saying that he's going to determine who gets visas based on looking at your social media and seeing if you said anything bad about Israel. Like, you deporting people who've said bad stuff about Israel. Like, people are looking at this stuff, and we're not going for it because you got to think about it. Donald Trump received $100 million, let's say, from Miriam Adelson. People that voted for Donald Trump didn't receive that money. He feels that he needs to go prove or pay his debt back. Meanwhile, the people that voted for him, like, you can't pay back. Like, you're trying to use me to pay back your debt. Like, no, you got to pay back my debt too. Like, I voted for you. That's an investment. Now you got to give me the return. You can't just give a return on Miriam Adelson. So that's where the kickoff really popped shit and got cats in a mode where they're just uncovering shit. So all this was always okay. Two things. What made Kanye even put this shit together on the forefront of this? Like, how the fuck was he in? He was in Hollywood. He can't be controlled. He can't be managed. That's why he said he fired his manager. He's seeing certain things happen. And I think, like a lot of us, when it hits the fan and impacts our personal lives, then we lean into it even more and want everybody else to now see it as a problem because now it's impacted us. So Kanye, you got to look at what he's going through in his life. Like, he's had certain people try to silence him. Certain people try to put him on meds. He's seen a whole lot of, how this, all these people play certain roles in the music industry. He's not the goofy rapper that's going to just jump out there and be cool with putting out music that's demonic and telling young kids to kill each other. Like he's not, you got to think of all the rooms that he's in that he goes against the grain compared to a lot of these other rappers that'll just go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you would never expect to, like, he's not a safe bet. He's not like a Jay-Z, somebody that's just gonna, flirt.
You pay him enough, he'll shut up.
Yeah. He'll flirt with, like being a activist. He'll pay for some funerals or documentaries on, whatever. But he's not really willing to call out a lot of the stuff that happens in the industry. You get Kanye to call that stuff out, bro. Kanye people love Ye. And more importantly than people love Ye, people may think Kanye's crazy. You may think a whole bunch of stuff, but you don't ever think of him as being like a liar. You know what I'm saying? He may be wrong, but you just don't, like, Kanye is going to get in trouble for saying too much of the truth. You know what I'm saying? For revealing too much.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see him as that type of lying person. So when Kanye called him out, called Jewish people out or called Israel out, whichever he did, and then you had Candace Owens who tried to bring him on the show. She ended up getting fired from Daily Wire, and it was a lot of people, bro. Myron got shut down for talking about a lot of this stuff. You look at like a guy like Dan Bilzerian, a lot of these people were canceled. Then you get a guy like Nick Fuentes, who's, you constantly putting out your perspective of the truth. Eventually people gonna grasp onto it.
Right.
Yeah. So
what makes these people, in your opinion, with where Israel is at now, where now it's like, fuck, they opened the door, motherfuckers is snooping around, cats is figuring shit out, people with huge influence and audiences are in our fucking zone now. What do the next steps look like for Israel, and or what has been the steps that they have taken thus far to somewhat, I would think, push people away or make people see them in a better light? Because I'm assuming they feeling a little naked right now, where somebody just blew the curtains up and they like, shit, damn, motherfucker, this wasn't supposed to be all out here. Like, what has been the campaign that you've seen Israel put in the Jewish community put on to be able to, I guess, somehow spin this to look like it's not what it looks like in American eyes? Or did they just flop on that and they just standing on what the fuck they've been going on?
Yo, I think that this is going to be perhaps like more of a hot take. Like, I don't know how confident I am in this, but just based on observing the situation, when I think about dynasties, like dynasties, whether it's Shaq, Kobe, whether it's Kevin Durant, dynasties are typically ruined from the inside, from internally rather than external forces, right? So when I see Israel facing a lot of the heat now and doing certain things where it's like, damn, are you trying to get people to hate you? You know what I mean? Like, I asked myself that, and perhaps that's the play, because perhaps that's the rallying cry. We've all been on certain teams where, winning can get boring. Winning can get to the point where it's like, okay, we're winning, but I want to be in that position. I want to be in that power position, whatever that may be. So I don't know if this is a direct correlation, but I just feel like when I'm looking at Israel, perhaps they want people to hate, or a certain population of people to hate them, because then it just justifies the way that they move. It justifies, or I should say, serves as a rallying cry for their people to unite. That's all they care about. As long as they got their people united, I think that they feel that they're at the point where they can be confident enough to know that regardless of whether the United States makes whatever decision they make, they've gained enough leverage to where now they can work with another government. You don't think that the number one reason why a lot of people say that we benefit from being an ally is their intelligence? It's come out time after time that they try to bug all of the devices that have anything to do with America. So are we that silly? And of course, with Jeffrey Epstein, are we that silly to think that Israel doesn't have stuff on America that a lot of other countries would jump at the opportunity to work with Israel on? So, you know what I mean? I don't know.
We'll see that in our lifetime. Like, does that play keep going that direction, and we see a full blown like jump off the American ship, and they collude, like they combine or fuck with some cats across the water on some other shit? Are we gonna witness that in our lifetime?
It depends on how we act. Based on our politicians previously and how Donald Trump's moving right now, I don't think so.
They're not gonna have to.
But it depends on how that pendulum swings, bro. Because look, Donald Trump, JD Vance and the Republican Party don't have a Donald Trump. The Democrats don't have a Donald Trump.
Right.
So we're at a point now where there's such a distrust in the government and the politicians where you're going to have to deliver on a lot more and earlier than you previously you had to deliver on it to win people's votes.
That makes sense.
So it's like now you get a guy like JD Vance who does not have the relationship that Donald Trump has with Israel, or you get a Democrat that wins who clearly, the Democrats don't have the relationship that Donald Trump has, unless it's like a Chuck Schumer or Cory Booker or Hakeem Jeffries, or one of them that take a lot of money from AIPAC. But other than that, I could see JD Vance just saying nah.
Just
having the American people on it, because I think JD Vance cares more about what the American people say and do or say about him rather than Donald Trump. I think JD Vance is more impressionable from that standpoint. I think Trump gonna just like, man, F all y'all, I'm doing what's best for Trump.
Yeah.
That's what's best for America, because Trump is America.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it'll be interesting though. But the young folks are always gonna set the tone, because I think young people have a unique opportunity to make older people who try to sound smarter than them look very silly when they're clearly doing something that's not in the best interest of the country and aligned with what they've been campaigning on.
Yeah, they like to call shit like that out.
Yeah.
They like to step on that, make it go viral, turn it up, build an audience. Like, they love to rally behind motherfucker doing some shit and claiming that it was supposed to do some shit. Mm-hmm. So it just seems like whoever takes, so we go from Biden, then we go to Trump, and you're saying the pendulum would make sense swinging. Who's in the race next?
For who?
For presidency. Who running for that spot next, you think?
JD Vance, probably JD and Rubio. I don't think, unless Rubio wants to challenge him and run against him, but but Abuhan made a great point. He said JD Vance would never, bro. I wish I could believe that. He won't even say the word genocide. I think that JD Vance won't say a lot of stuff right now because he's aligned with Donald Trump. But what I think we also maybe, and you may be right as far as him not saying that moving forward, but keep in mind, once Donald Trump is gone, like, people are not just going to be doing everything that Donald Trump says and aligns with just to appease him because they're scared of the repercussions that come with that. JD Vance is going to have to stand on his own as a politician. And he's also going to have to deal with the record, because now he's almost in a Kamala Harris position where he's got to say he's going to do and deliver certain things, but is he going to be critical of the shortcomings that their administration delivered on, because he would have to call out Trump's leadership?
Kind of like Trump was just doing with the Biden leadership.
Right. So like how Kamala Harris was running and she got asked by The View, would you have done anything differently? She said no. I don't think anybody believes that. I would assume that you would have.
She can't step on it. Yeah.
I guess she didn't feel comfortable, stepping on Joe Biden. So is JD Vance going to do that? And I don't think that JD Vance is as liked in a lot of ways to just be to not be impressionable. And I think it's almost a different time. Like it's a different time. Things move fast. And Phyllis wrote, don't like JD Vance, fake Manchurian candidate. I get all that, which makes me actually say, in a lot of ways, if these young folks, if they move in a different direction, I think JD Vance he'll move in that direction, not because that's what he actually wants, maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, if I had to bet on somebody winning, I would say that. Like, I guess it's going to be Gavin Newsom, Governor of Cali versus JD.
Well, Phyllis said Newsom ain't shit out there in Cali.
Yeah, I'm not a Newsom fan. I mean, anybody that puts laws in place where parents don't have to, or teachers don't have to tell parents about their kids transitioning their gender, I can't support that. Or
I can't get behind that. Yeah.
But a lot of people look the other way. We always look the other way when it comes to a lot of people look the other way when it comes to this. Like, that's the thing. Like, even And this is why I say, like, just like Steve wrote, Newsom would be catastrophic. That's why even with all this stuff, like I'll say, like I'm pissed off at Trump just because I'm judging Trump because he's the one in office. And even how I started this off, like, bro, you had a layup, bro. Like literally, like most presidents aren't in a position where they can just come out and say, hey, men are men and women are women and get like points for that. Or say, hey, yeah, men are not allowed to compete in sports, especially, you know, the physical sports like boxing or MMA, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna have women compete against women and girls compete against girls, boys and men compete against their groups and get points for that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he got, like this was a cakewalk in a lot of ways. So I don't, from that to stopping the border, like it's all of this stuff. You had Democrats calling it out at that point.
Yeah, even Democrats were aligned with it.
Yeah, I mean, Trump followed the group of people that said defund the police. Like they thought that was a great strategy. like niggas don't like police. Like no, when I call the police, I mean I want the police to come. Like
yeah.
But let's wrap this up, man. We're gonna be on at what 8 a.m.
8 a.m. man. That was a good little joint, man. Yeah. I guess we'll pick up a little bit of it tomorrow morning for the people that didn't catch it, and we'll talk about it and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I see a bunch of new people tapping in. Make sure that y'all tap into our live show. We do Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. We usually go till about 10. We'll see. And try to get it down to 9:30 so y'all can be about your days. But that's what we do. Make sure that you like and subscribe on your way out. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. And let's continue the convo tomorrow. We'll sleep on it. I'm waking up tomorrow and saying how amazing Trump did. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. And everybody bring your comments to the comment section.
Bring your comments to the comment section. And we're not going to go through our breathing as we typically would, but let's just take one deep breath so we can go to bed not thinking about this, or do whatever it is you're doing for the rest of the day, not thinking about this. And we'll see y'all in a little bit less than 10 hours. So one deep breath, inhaling some positive energy, exhaling negative, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.